Welcome to the I Am Energizer podcast. Today, we work on taking care of our baby, B.A.B.Y, becoming a better you. All right, let's get the prayer started before we get to today's podcast. God, I appreciate you being here. I really only started this prayer so that I could put my head down and everybody could see how crispy my hair is and how great it looks. I just want to make sure that they check that out because likely they don't have their heads bowed and eyes closed. And if they are looking at the camera, I want them to see how nice this looks. Today's episode is about being a better version of ourselves, or B.A.B.Y, being a better you. And I just like to say, thank you for putting me in a position to recognize that you helped me become a better version of me. Through the counseling, through the spiritual and counseling, through the journey that I've been through to recognize the traumas and recognize the things that were not beneficial to the self-preservation of who I am and being of better service and leading those around me, you assisted me in recognizing that. So today, as a vessel and as the captain of my ship, I want to steer others and provide them with some of the things that I know through you in helping them become a better version of who they are. All right. And then hopefully them being the better version of themselves, they can contribute to the plan that we got in place, putting the unity in community. Amen. Becoming a better you. Let's look at the first word, becoming. By definition, becoming, the process of coming to be something or of passing into a state. Become, begin to be, grow to be, turn into. Becoming a better you, the process is looking at who you are currently and figuring out ways to continuously grow and be better. In starting this podcast, my calling and my mission was always to encourage others to be a better versions of themselves. Through a lot of the therapy and the counseling and the things that I've been through spiritually to become a better version of myself, it's only innate. It's only a part of who I am in my being naturally to encourage others to become a better version of themselves. For those who have in real life met me, they know I'm going to encourage something about you to become the better version of you. If you have any version of habits that are abusive towards the body, I'm going to encourage you to change it. If it's some things that you have that are abusive towards the vessel of the body, I'm going to encourage you to stop doing it. If it has something to do with your health, I'm going to give you ways to become a better version of you. So with that being said, if you are around me, if you have particular habits that I don't agree with, or even if it's not just me agreeing with, I know it's not going to increase the value of who you are, I'm going to encourage you to do better and be better. And what is that? To become, begin to be, grow to be, turn into. So the first word is your responsibility, becoming. You have to be and look into being a better version of yourself. The A is for accountability. By definition, the fact or condition of being accountable, responsibility. So let's look at it. By definition, accountability is a noun that describes accepting responsibility and can be personal or very public. With some of us, we experience accountability in our personal lives by the decisions that we've made, by the choices that we've had, by the circumstances that we're in. We might surround ourselves with a particular level of accountability. At the end of the day, it's just responsibility. Some of us are held accountable publicly. Let's say, for example, like a rap battle. You've been putting yourself out there to be this particular type of person, and boom, accountability knocked on your door. It was God's plan when you went and stole that thought process from an artist and then recorded that video in his city and made it seem like, oh, this was God's plan that I do this particular type of thing when he had already started that challenge and you stole it from him. But I guess it wasn't God's plan when you got exposed for who you really are and everybody started moving around on you. I guess it wasn't God's plan then, but accountability. So accountability is simply responsibility. Accountability is lined up with the truth. All right. Accountability is knowing that at the end of the day, let me be responsible for the things that I need to be responsible for. And this is going to contribute towards being the better version of me. I eat too much. I'm gluttonous. I overconsume. I need to be responsible for my habits. I'm messy. I get on the internet and all I do is look up other people's information and I want to quote unquote talk about whatever legalities or whatever mess I saw on the internet about them. But I won't be responsible for my own internal meddler and who I really am, because all I am is a messy, unhappy person. I'm gluttonous. I'm overweight. All I do is look at everybody else's mess instead of cleaning up my own and taking responsibility for myself. It's so many ways that we can look at quote unquote accountability. All I do is start drama. And all I like is drama and commotion around me. What I really need to do is look into that internal drama and trauma within me. And I need to calm that energy. And I need to figure out a way to be accountable and responsible for that. And now be and look into being and becoming a more peaceful person. better, of a more excellent or effective type or quality, of a more excellent or effective type or quality, similar to, superior, finer, of higher quality, greater, in a different class. If you look at the other definition, partly or fully recovered from illness, injury, or mental stress. All right. Healthier, fitter, stronger, well, cured, healed. All right. So let's look at those. Becoming a better. The better is to enrich. Enrich means to grow. Enrich means to make wealthier. As it says here, if we go with definition number 1, to become excellent. So a lot of us already have the excellence within us. A lot of us already have the good within us. How can we personify that goodness? How can we push that part of us forward? Not the drama, not the shaking tail online and twerking next to somebody French toast at a brunch, not the all I do is project a version of me that I'm really not on a fake social media platform and project this fake version of me. Let me look at who I really am, the good in me, who are God qualities of me that a lot of other people don't possess. And how can I personify them? How can I make them better? How can I utilize them not only to make a better version of me, but then it's able to be utilized for those around me, not abused by those around me, but utilized and it serves someone other than just myself. Example, you are a musician. Yeah, you can make great beats and just tuck them. What does that go do for you? You can just sing around the house and your boyfriend or your girlfriend, hear you and your great voice. But what are you really doing? If that voice really has the frequency to heal, if that voice really knows how to harmonize with others, and you could be in a group and really contribute. You don't even have to be the star of the group. You could be the person that matches or helps layer another person's frequency that they have the particular gift. And it may be for them to shine and provide us with a great, harmonious, strong, healing frequency about love and about things that they've been through. And you are that supporting harmony. How can you put that gift up front? How can you provide or contribute to something that's greater? You could be great at math. You could be great at understanding accounting. So now you get online every day and you teach people what general accepted accounting principles are. And you teach people to go in and read and understand what these generally accepted accounting principles are. And you teach people how to ledger their own accounts, because people stop taking accountability of their own money. We just go in and consume, and we're not being responsible for the accounting that's taking place and how to close out that ledger and do the ledgering of our lives. Let's go into the spiritual accounting and who we are. Kind of going back to accountability here, but you have to be accountable to be the better version of you. So what do you think God is doing? The best accountant in the world is God. If you believe in the Bible in any shape, form, or fashion, guess what? All it's speaking to is some version of accounting. What do you think, quote unquote, judgment is? There is some, quote unquote, scroll out there with your deeds and your actions, and these are pluses and minuses, debits and credits. Now we're going to see if you're really an asset to the world, or if you were valuable in any shape, form, or fashion to the world, or did you just go out here, take, you made others less valuable, you made yourself less valuable, you brought everybody around you down, you depreciated everyone else's value, or did you serve your community? In the time that I've been, quote unquote, in exile, I've contributed into somebody else and helping make them better. A person is 2 times my age. I've taken my energy and went to contribute that to make that person a better version of themselves. Interesting how at my age, being 2 times younger than this person, I can contribute to them being a better version of them. But better is about doing the work. And that's the part that a lot of people don't understand. You have to be accountable. The responsibility is saying, hey, I know who I am. I know the things that I need to work on. But now how do I put in that work and put myself in a position to continue to make this better as time goes on? You won't get it overnight, but through lessons, because you're going to keep getting the lessons. Okay. God's platform and God's system is, you don't learn that lesson, you go have to run back through it. And you're going to have to keep running back through it, and you're going to keep getting tested on it until you pass that lesson. And guess what? After that, it's no beautiful graduation and yays and pat on the backs and horns and all the other good stuff. It ain't none of that. It's the next lesson. Because the goal, if you really want to be a better version of you, especially if you ask for it, if you sat down and prayed, if you sat down and asked, if you ran to that altar, if you asked people to pay for you, all those things, you want to become a better version of you, guess what you got to do next? You got to put in that work. You refer to God as a God, but ultimately he's lined up with being the creator. So in the God sense, y'all allow people to create a version of God in that thought process. But in the sense of what he really is, he is the creator. So when you're having a conversation with a creator, what did the creator do? He put in work. So you think you're not going to have the same exact responsibility? Let's translate it over to others. We were made in his likeness. So if you say, hey, that's a God, and then you turn around and you say, oh, I'm a child of God. I'm a son of God. I'm a daughter of God. Oh, that's my father. What you think he did? He put in work. So you got to put in work too to be better. That's just how that works. You think these track runners don't become faster because they don't put in the work? No. You think rappers don't become, I don't like the rapper analogy, but for those that are good, you think that they didn't go through English and they didn't go through writing and they didn't hone their craft and they didn't get dismissed or called whacked or work on poetry and work on stanzas and work on formatting and work on their style and do some version of practice? You think dancers just started dancing and they didn't hone their skills in any type of way? Why do you think people had to have a whole ambulance service in their counties or in their cities and probably the neighboring city on standby when Michael Jackson came through? Because since a young age, he honed his skill till his energy was so overwhelming to others, they took themselves out in excitement. Think about that. So the goal here is to becoming. You're in a process. That's what becoming is. A, accountability. You got to be responsible for the things that you know that you need to handle better. You want to put yourself in a position to heal things. What was the second definition? Partly or fully recovered from illness, injury, or mental stress. Where does injury, illness, or mental stress come from? Traumas. Where do you think it came from? Traumas, dramatics, things that we experiences, wounds that we experiences. So experienced. So the goal is to really go in and put yourself in a position to recognize, hey, a lot of times we have injuries and we try to deny them or we try to fight through them. You turn that ankle. You don't want your wife to see it. You don't want your husband to see it. You don't want your mom or your dad to see it. You got to tough it out for your kids. You limping. That ankle getting worse. It's turning purple, blue, green, and all that stuff by the day. It might be something you need to do. You've been having a cramp for the longest. You've been getting lightheaded. Your wrist is messing with you. Something ain't right about it. When you at work typing, it just continuously cramps up. These are injuries that we experience in some shape, form, or fashion. You experienced some type of abuse as a child. You never healed it. So now throughout your life, you continuously go on through life with those lenses. Whereas the adult, you technically didn't experience that. The inner child in you did. So now through lenses, you still think that way. So becoming better is just taking it the notch up. It's the lessons that you need to go through to get to the better versions of you. It's layering that onion in a way that, it's not just a core, it's bigger. And you want that layer of that onion to be the better aspects of you. Becoming. A, accountability. Better. You. Let's focus on you. Who are you? Who are you? That's the biggest question you need to ask yourself. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, who are you? Are you happy with yourself when you look in the mirror? Are you happy with what you do on the day-to-day? Happy can be temporary. Have you ever experienced joy? Are you taking responsibility for the things that you need to take responsibility for? You had choices. You made a decision. You have a byproduct of that. It could be called consequences. It can be end result. Whatever comes of those choices, decisions, and consequences, you have to handle those. So the question is, who are you and how are you contributing to the better version of you? You might need to go talk to somebody about some things you experienced. As men, a lot of us experience abuses that we never get healed from. We never got to express the things that we've been through. A lot of women tuck things right here and you just let that sit on you. And you don't know why you get teary-eyed about certain events. You don't know why you've taken on such a stressful energy. And now when something goes on, you doing all this erratic, anxious behavior, but it's really not even your behavior. You witnessed that through somebody else. And their trauma has now been a characteristic that you took on. And now you don't even know why you act like that. You can go talk to somebody to work on being the better version of you. The number one thing that you need to do is work on self-preservation. That's the number one thing. Self-preservation is not a selfish act. It's an innate act. Selfishness is when you walk around and you do things that only benefit you and is a detriment to other. That is a selfish act. Self-sustaining is naturally who we are, because until I handle me and do the things that I need to do for me as I'm becoming a more responsible, better person, I need to make sure that I handle my business. When I wake up in the morning, nobody else is, for those who are able-bodied or whatnot, nobody else is brushing my teeth. That's me being a better me. Nobody else is cleaning my tongue. Nobody else knows what my heartbeat is, if it's irregular or not, or if I'm stressing, or if I smell a particular way. You should be self-aware of those things. You should understand, you know what? I can't be around those energies. You know what? I don't need to be talking about other people. That's none of my business. You know what? I need to go get that gym today. You know what? I need to stop doing this because every time I do this, it causes a lapse in my judgment, a lapse in my energy. You know what? I don't need to be around him. I don't need to be around her because every time I'm around him or her, these things happen. No, I don't need to have that drink. No, I don't need to smoke that smoke. No, I don't need to do A, B, C, and D. I need to remove toxic things around me because the toxic things around me are not enabling the me that needs to become better. It's not contributing towards the vessel. Your job is to be captain of your ship. Your job is to protect your vessel. That's an episode coming up. We go talk about you being the captain of your ship and your vessel. We got to figure out what type of vessel you are, though. But becoming a better you are important. Not in the sense or the scope of, oh, you're better than everybody else. Stop thinking you have to go project this version of value to people. Show your value in the things that you do and the things that you bring to the table. Sometimes you might have to speak up. I get that part. A lot of times I've shut up about my value until you keep playing with me. And then, yeah, I got to speak up about my value. But that's me. I know who I am. Who are you? Who are you? In closing, becoming a better you, it's your baby. You have to take care of it. You have to look out for it. You have to supplement it. You have to encourage it. You have to do all the diligent things. B.A.B.Y, becoming a better you, is very sensitive to who you are and the environment. Think of it as being new to the world, needing the nourishment daily, multiple times in the day. Sometimes it's going to cry out, okay? Sometimes it's going to be quiet. Sometimes it's going to smile. Sometimes they're going to be such beautiful moments. Other times it's going to try to figure out how to crawl and fall over or pull up on something and attempt to walk and fall. But it's going to continue to keep getting back up to figure out ways how to do the things that it innately knows how to do. And it should be to become the walking, running, sprinting, in full stride version of yourself that's better. That's what you want to do to it. Protect that baby when you are becoming a better version of you. Protect that baby. It deserves protection. When the protections are not there, it's no telling who is going to come in and harm that baby. All right. So the baby theory, if you ain't got it by now, that baby is you. That is the internal you, the inner child you. Think of it like this. Think of it as you are the version of you that you are now. You know all the things that you know now. And now you see the baby version of you in that crib, brand new, born. And you know some things that need to be changed. You know some things that need to be corrected. You know some things are going to be happen and need to be addressed. Now is your chance to put that baby in a better direction. In an accountable, responsible direction, in a better, enriched, healed direction, self-sustaining, looking out for you, for the enrichment of you. And the better you shines and can contribute to the whole. And that way, the you in unity goes into the unity in community. It starts with the you in unity that contributes to the unity in community. I am Energizer Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Share, like, subscribe. Get this to other people that you know. We're building our unity community. That's our goal. Healing conversations, becoming a better version of you. And that's the standard. No ifs, ands, or buts.